Hi everybody, my name is Miss Jessie and I'm a librarian at the Central Library of the Buffalo and Erie County Public Library. And today we're going to be making a liquid rainbow. So we're going to be studying the density of different liquids to see which is heavier and see how they actually would stack. So we need a few things to make this experiment. We need honey, some dish soap or some hand soap. I've got some hand soap here, but if you've got blue dish soap, that actually might be even easier. I've got just some tap water. I have olive oil. I have mine in a little dispenser like this, but just olive oil. And some rubbing alcohol. And then in order to create our rainbow, we're gonna need a glass to put it in. I'm gonna put it in this flute just because it'll be easier to see the stacks. Any clear glass is going to work though. I've got some paper towels in case I make a mess. I've got some just different little kitchen things to stir with. You could use just a spoon or some popsicle sticks. But this is just easier for me right now. And I've got some food coloring. So, oh, and I also need my little cups to mix in. So let's get started. I filled these little bathroom cups with about half full with all of my different liquids. So this is the honey. This is the dish soap, the water, the olive oil, and the rubbing alcohol. I did put 2 cups under the rubbing alcohol, and we'll talk about that in a little bit once we do some stacking and why that's important. So if you go ahead and start lifting them up, you can actually tell that even though they have the same amount of liquid, so each cup is half full, you can tell they don't weigh the same. This cup with the honey in it is way more heavy than this cup with the rubbing alcohol in it. And that has to do with the density or the mass of the liquid. So just because they're the same volume, the same amount of liquid, doesn't mean that they are the same weight of liquid. So now we're going to go ahead and color these so we can actually create our rainbow. So we're going to start with the honey, and we need to make the honey purple. So for that, I'm just going to add 1 drop of blue and 1 drop of red. And I'll add 2 drops of red. Didn't make a big drop. Then my hand soap here is white, so I'm going to add 2 drops of blue. If you had used blue dish soap, you wouldn't have to color this step. My tap water is going to be green. My olive oil is going to stay yellow, so I'm going to leave it the color it is. And I want my rubbing alcohol to be red, so I'm going to go ahead and add 3 drops of the red in there because red actually is a more, it's a more difficult color to use with dye. I'm going to go ahead and mix these up and I'll be right back. I'm back and I'm going to start stacking these colors to make my rainbow, starting with the most dense, the heaviest liquid, and working all the way up to the lightest. So we're going to start with the honey. I'm going to pour it in. I'm going to be trying to be careful and not get it up the sides of the cup because we don't want to mix our colors. We want them to stack pretty. So that should be about enough. If you have some trouble getting the honey out of the cup, you might need to use a spoon. So now I've got my purple layer there. It's going to be hard to see, so I'll put a piece of white paper towel underneath. I've got my blue. We're going to do these very slowly. We don't want them to mix. We want them to stack. There's my blue. Green is water. So now we're getting much thinner. So we have to go slower and slower as we go up our layers here. There's the water. Get a little thicker. Here we go. Blue or green. Yellow is our olive oil. It's going to stack on top of the green. And now we've got our red, and I'm going to do that one down the side because I don't want it to mix. It's very thin. No, I'll go on the top. Ooh, put it on my tray here. So now you can see we have our stacked rainbow. So why did the liquids stack and not mix? So we poured them in order of density. We poured the heaviest liquid into the cup first and the lightest liquid into the cup last. And so the liquids actually stacked based on density. What would happen if you poured them in the opposite order? Would they mix or would they still stack? What would happen if you mixed up your order and poured the medium weight liquids, so the water and the olive oil, before you poured the heaviest? Go ahead and try some different options and see what happens. See what else you have in your kitchen or your house and see how heavy those liquids are. Maybe apple juice or orange juice or maybe your shampoo. See which are heavier and lighter and see what other kind of rainbows you can make. I'll see you next Saturday. Have a great week, guys. Bye.